Round 1 of the 2025 Sinquefield Cup. Two of India's brightest stars collide. Praggnanandhaa against Gukesh. A clash not just of players, but of rivals. From the very beginning, the queens were traded, stripping the board down to pure strategy. No fireworks yet, just patience, tension, and maneuvering. White took space, building on the queen's side. Black searched for counterplay, pushing back with pieces of his own. Then came the spark. White's knight leapt forward, snatching a pawn and turning the game on its head. Gukesh struck back on the king's side, pawns racing forward, trying desperately to stir chaos. But Praggnanandhaa was ice cold. His knights circled like predators, dominating every square. His pawns advanced with unstoppable force, squeezing the life out of Black's position. And then, the final blow. A knight plants itself in the center, the board completely under White's control. There is no escape. Gukesh can only resign. A masterclass from Praggnanandhaa. Calm under pressure, ruthless in execution, and starting his Sinquefield Cup campaign with a statement victory. Round 1 of the Sinquefield Cup, and what a battle it was. Maxime Vachier-Lagrave with the white pieces against Alireza Firouzja with black. A clash of generations, and a game that turned into an absolute roller coaster. From the start, White steered into the Spanish opening. Black immediately fought back on the queen's side, expanding with pawns and forcing White's bishop to retreat. The game soon exploded into a tense middle game. White tried to seize control in the center, but Black struck with counterplay, pushing pawns forward and sharpening position. Then, the game caught fire. White's knight leapt into the heart of Black's camp, grabbing pawns and opening lines. Black responded with an aggressive rook swing, the balance shifting with every move. As the tension rose, the queens came off, leaving behind a razor-sharp endgame. Both players raced pawns up the board, rooks and bishops, slicing across the position. Kings marching boldly into battle. Every move felt like a punch and counterpunch. White advanced on the king's side, while Black launched checks and tactical blows, refusing to give ground. Finally, the players reached a locked struggle, White pushing forward, Black holding firm. Neither side could break through, and after nearly 5 hours of play, they shook hands. A hard-fought draw, with chances for both, and a game worthy of the stage. Firouzja survives the storm. Vachier-Lagrave shows his resilience, and the Sinquefield Cup is off to a fiery start. Sevian opens with pawn to d4, bold and direct. Wesley So replies, knight to f6, and the battle begins. They enter a Nimzo Indian, pieces flying out fast. Sevian's queen lifts to a4, so exchanges bishops, and the tension rises. By move 15, Sevian plants a knight on e5, so immediately challenges, forcing sharp trades. The queens dance across the board before Sevian cracks the center with pawn to d5. Wesley responds coolly. The position ignites. Queenside pawns are seized, rooks double on open files, and suddenly queens vanish. The board clears into a testing endgame, pawns racing forward, knights and rooks circling for advantage. Both kings step into the fire. Move by move, Sevian pushes on the king's side. Wesley resists with knight checks and rook pressure. The balance hangs by a thread. Every slip could be fatal. At last, the pieces come off. Pawns fall, knights trade, and the two kings stare across an empty board. No breakthrough is possible. The fight ends in a draw. A fierce round 1 clash at the Sinquefield Cup. Sevian holds his ground against one of the most solid defenders in world chess. A true battle of wills, ending in peace. Nodirbek Abdusattorov opens with pawn to d4, a statement of youthful ambition. But facing him is Levon Aronian, the Armenian maestro, resurgent, dangerous, and in sublime form. From the very start, Aronian plays with purpose. He castles quickly, feeing Kedos's bishop, and then the brilliance begins. Pawns surge, knights leap, and suddenly Black's h-pawn storms forward. Levon doesn't defend, he attacks, with fire and precision. Abdusattorov tries to break through the center, but Aronian anticipates everything. Queens and knights clash, and with a series of cold-blooded exchanges, Levon seizes the initiative. The board tilts, momentum shifts, and the crowd can feel it. This is vintage Aronian. Then comes a masterpiece. A bishop sacrifice, lines opening toward the white king. Aronian's queen and rooks flood the position, his pawns slicing forward like daggers. Abdusattorov is forced backward, his clock ticking down, his king exposed. And, at last, the decisive blow. Aronian crashes through with surgical precision, ending all resistance. Abdusattorov resigns, unable to withstand the storm. Levon Aronian, an artist, a fighter, and here in St. Louis, a man in peak form. A dazzling start to his Sinquefield Cup campaign. Round 1 at the Sinquefield Cup 2025. Fabiano Caruana, the Italian-American powerhouse, faces Jan-Krzysztof Duda, the young Polish dynamo. A clash of experience and daring begins. Both players enter familiar territory, the game unfolding like a well-rehearsed symphony. Caruana deploys the London system, while Duda responds with precise, solid defenses. Early skirmishes as White's knights dance aggressively on the king's side. 5. And h4 challenges Black's bishop, while 6e6 sets up a sturdy fortress. Strategic maneuvers dictate the tempo as the players probe, feint, and calculate. Exchanges on move 29 shake the structure. 29. bxg6, hxg6. Tension escalates, each side looking for a thread, a crack in the armor. The endgame emerges. 50. ra7 plus kf8. Rook versus rook, kings dancing cautiously. Precision is paramount. Neither player yields, repetition looming. After a tense struggle of strategy and calculation, the tension dissolves into a draw. Caruana and Duda shake hands. A clash of titans, equal in strength, each leaving their mark on the first round of the Sinquefield Cup 2025.